let's talk about how you can truly hit the first cycle of enlightenment, which I define here as step 3, presence, abidance as presence, where your neurology, your unconscious mind, your conscious mind, your natural habit is to be here, flips over. It's quite a massive event. So I'm Jason at AwakenedEssence.com, and I'm going to share with you how I did it in 5 years. And given what's in the Correct Presence Practice course, which is the first part of the Laws of Grace course, which is epic, really epic, over 100 videos, you will be able to do this in 5 years easy. If not, then you need personal one-on-one feedback. So I'm going to share with you how I did it in 5 years after I first read about Eckhart Tolle, the power of now, the practice of being present. Yes, I'd done spiritual stuff before. Yes, I had had massive awakenings and lost them. If you've lost a big awakening, you'll know how heartbreaking that is. I want that back. That's a sign you don't have it, eh? I want that back. Nah, it's gone. Rules of evidence. Can you bring it in that fast? When you abide in presence, your presence entry is that fast in most of life's circumstances once you hit there. It'll deepen with the bigger tests, and you'll learn to handle really, really, truly ugly stuff, be it a pandemic, broken bones, car accidents, losing people, being bullied in jobs, you name it. This will deepen because this is part of the framework. This is how it works. So if you want to awaken in 5 years or less, so it's always here and it's the habit, it's your default consciousness, then this framework here at Awakened Essence, the 9-pillar framework, the Enlightenment framework, is where it's at. Because pillar 1 is correct presence practice. And Eckhart Tolle does one chapter where he describes it quite nicely. Then he goes into other stuff and people get lost because they forget to do correct presence practice. Step 1, body. Go read his chapter or watch some of my other videos. Step 2, the inner body, where the other spaces start to open up, the non-dimensional spaces, the bigger spaces, your feelings, your emotions, and all of your stuff. 3, presence. That allowing space that allows everything to be, good or bad, there is no judgment there. So you can be feeling crap and be present. Absolutely. Step 4, which is my addition to Eckhart Tolle's 3 steps, is the divine, the nothingness, the no person, the no doer, the noumenon before phenomenon, the no time, no place, no space. God, grace, awakened presence. That one grows, especially after you hit abidance. So we aim the bar at you being present in an abiding fashion within 5 years with the Laws of Grace course, coaching, and if you're serious, there's the Mastery Club for company. So how did I do it? Well, I had some people around me that practice presence, and I just really listened to Eckhart Tolle lots. Now by lots, I mean lots. When I was driving, walking, doing dishes, sitting down meditating, listening to it. I listened to his stuff relentlessly, and other teachers that I found agreeable. Some people just waffle, and it's no use. So this is why I've created the Correct Presence Practice course, the videos here on the YouTube channel, and the epic Laws of Grace course. Over 100 videos now. It keeps growing because I can't help myself. Check out the page to see how much is there at the moment. I practice presence. And I found a teacher that kind of taught the same stuff, so I could get personal one-on-one feedback. And that's really critical. One-on-one feedback. Not 1 in 1,000, not an online seminar where you might get your question answered if you're really lucky because there's 600 other people asking questions. Personalised to you, suits your vibration. Specific. Measurable for you to make changes. So I found a teacher that did that, but then he brought in his agendas and tried destroying me and my friends. So I get into that in the laws of grace, how to spot it, how to spot cults, how to spot manipulation, spiritual compass, moral compass. Pillar 4, law 0, self-honesty, self-responsibility. As a teacher, you've got to have these things sussed, eh? So I spent a lot of time visiting this teacher, hanging out with this teacher and juicing out with his vibration, his bandwidth to help my bandwidth. And then I go and practice it in life. This is the point with presence practice, eh? It's how you live this stuff and how you pass the tests and what steps of the presence practice are you at when things are going on. Good stuff and bad stuff, and the adverts on the YouTube channel or the TV if you still watch it while you're sitting there at the traffic lights waiting for the bus. Are you here? What step? How easy is it? And as you hold that focus longer, does it get more juicy? This gives you the evidence because you're doing the steps. That's why the first pillar is correct presence practice. And of that first 5 years, for 3 of it, I was not doing it right. I was disincarnate. I was doing it in my head. I was doing it in my mental body, my bliss body and above, because I have a fairly good connection to upstairs, so I can shoot out and get there very easily. Have done for decades. But it wasn't incarnate, therefore it didn't really help my neurology, my body, my unconscious mind, pillar 5, activate fully, so the habit was based in here. You're a human being, your job is to bring the angels and God and divine bliss and divine love, agape, here in the body, in life, in the job, in childcare, with your parents, with your friends, with people that try and crash into you when you're driving. Yes, you can still be grumpy, that's okay, right? So that was what I did. And then when I heard the feedback, even though this teacher had some very strong megalomaniac tendencies that he was required, if a teacher says that to you, run away. Yeah, you can use their bandwidth, but don't let them brainwash you into the fact that you need them. You don't need me, but this framework will help you, so will the courses, so will the coaching. I've had so many teachers say that to me, eh? It's like, well, look at the evidence. I'm growing without you. And that's what I did. So the last year I was by myself because I got kicked out of the group because I wasn't playing by the rules. I.e., I went away on a nice long holiday to test my presence practice. I got kicked out when I got back because I wasn't playing by the control rules, eh? That's when it got serious. Rules of evidence. I was so specific about my practice and relentless at it while I worked, while I went tramping in the bush, while I did everything. Correct presence practice. That's pillar 1 for a reason in this framework, the 9-pillar framework. Being self-honest and self-responsible, yep, it's up to me. I don't need that teacher guy that tried to say that I needed him to do this and brainwash my friends to do the same. No. No. So I practiced myself there until pillar 5, unconsciously and consciously, my neurology flipped over. And then a whole nother learning cycle started, because when you are consciously present and unconsciously present, so they're both instantaneous and you're always checking in because it feels good, there's quite a process there to settle it, and that's a whole nother story. So if your spiritual practice after 5 years doesn't have you in the place where you are literally abiding in presence, or as I would say in the earlier phase, non-abiding presence, which is still quite rare, unfortunately, under my observations. Still quite uncommon. Then you need some personal feedback. Pillar 6, the externals. The external things that help you to awaken. Yeah, nice environment. Good groups that are aligned. That teach you that you're not mad because you're trying to practice presence while you got your crap running. Presence is okay with crap, because it is, eh? If it's happening, it is. Get into all of that dynamic very specifically in the Laws of Grace course. So it comes down to, well, how motivated are you? And do you want to learn this new habit, the correct habit? Because we are habit machines, and as are the animals in this website, as are all humans. We just need to learn the right habit, eh? Tiger Woods had to relearn his golf swing, and once he learnt that golf swing properly, he got back on top and he started winning tournaments again with his new swing that wasn't stuffing his back up so much. Your presence practice is no different. You will learn to abide in awakening when you've learnt that habit correctly, and it's the unconscious and conscious default. It's simple maths, which is what we get into in the Laws of Grace. We do the maths. So that's a bit about me and how I went about it. And that's why I've created this 9-pillar framework and the Laws of Grace, because I've lived it. And then after I was abiding in that place, in abidance of awakening, and it had deeply settled after 6 years, these guys started teaching me the maths and the laws. Because when you're present, then you're more aware and you're more sensitive, and you can probably pick up on that stuff, maybe, depending on you. Good stuff. So examine some more of the videos here on this website. Go through the 9-pillar framework. Check it in terms of reference of what you're doing now and what you've done and what your levels of presence are and where you can improve, because they will point to things that will help you, whether it's my material or somebody else's, doesn't really matter. But this is the thing with it though, and that's why I say it's bulletproof and concrete, because it's all backed up with science and what actually happens. So as you ground the habit and it becomes normal and it resets your unconscious, you become more present. It's no different to Roger Federer playing tennis. He's just really good at that habit, right? This is what you're doing. You're bringing yourself to this place where your presence practice and your depth of anchoring that in a way that's correct can take place. 5 years, it should be easy. If not, then you need some personal feedback, because there's stuff in the way, or you're not motivated, or you're not doing it correctly, or pillar 8, blind spots. You got stuff. We've all got stuff. Even after you've been blazingly enlightened for over a decade, you'll still have stuff come up, and it will still be the same structure. It's still the same process. At least that's the evidence in my life. Make this yours, use it, apply it, send me some feedback. I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com.